This is the Gen Y Leaders Podcast. Welcome to the Gen Y Leaders Podcast, where we guide millennials to become the next generation of business leaders and entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Eric Huey, and multiple times a month, we bring you interviews from high-performing millennials who are challenging perceptions and changing expectations of our generation. Our mission is to help you overcome fear, take action, and go confidently in the direction of your dreams. It's time to start preparing now, mainly because 10,000 baby boomers are retiring every day, which will create a vacuum of career opportunities that you've been waiting for. Will you be ready? Jon, thanks for joining us on the Gen Y Leaders Podcast.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
For sure. If you could, just at a high level, tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Jon Thomas. I'm a personal trainer. I built an addition on the backside of my house so I can train people out of there. Try to keep the overhead costs low, so hopefully starting out small and, hopefully having a full-size location at some point. But for right now, just training people out of here.
Very cool. It's called Precision Fitness, correct?
That's right. Yep. Started about April 2019. I had seen a few clients beforehand, just testing the waters before I left my full-time job, and then officially made the jump in April of 2019. So I've been going on for like about a year and 5 months now.
Okay. Beautiful.
Surviving.
Yeah.
Barely.
And you're sitting in your gym currently, or the add-on you talked about, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's the back wall there. It's about 500 square feet roughly. So it's not huge, but it gets the job done for sure.
For sure. I'm a marketing guy at heart, so I'm always interested in logos. So any meaning or significance behind the logo?
Yeah, a lot of meaning, a lot of significance. So my brother, he started Precision Health, him and his wife, Kara. They're both doctors. So if you look up Precision Health Chiropractic, that's them. And so anyway, so this was his logo. And before I left my full-time job, I was talking to him. I was like, hey, what do you think about me opening up a fitness side of Precision? He's like, I think that's a great idea. So got the logo, pretty much stole the logo from him and changed Precision Health to Precision Fitness. And so, we don't share, a bank account or anything. We're completely separate, but, we both promote each other, obviously. And I love what they got going on there. And, he and his wife, Kara, they both approve of the things that I'm doing here. So it works as a good relationship.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a good first step for an entrepreneur to bypass or leapfrog too. I know a lot of entrepreneurs who just struggle with even getting out of the blocks, so to speak, to, decide what to call their business or what their logo should be and all that. So it sounds like you had that idea from the start and got to kind of expedite that process.
Yep. I wish I could expedite having the full-size location and having me and him under the same roof and everything, but that's just taking a little bit longer than expected.
All good things take time, right?
Yep, exactly.
So the topic for today is really going to be about pursuing your calling for the audience and for those watching. Jon, if you could, maybe at a high level, just talk about your own journey, how you felt you stuck in your corporate role and what made you pursue your calling. Yeah.
So, I was fortunate to get a good job out of college. I did the things I was supposed to in college. I got good grades, went to school, went to class, all that. And so, I got a decent job. I say decent. It was better than average coming out of college with J.E. Dunn Construction, and worked for them for about 7 years. And I enjoyed learning about the construction process and all that. I learned a ton of knowledge. I wouldn't be able to build the gym if I had gotten that knowledge. But it just was not what I was meant to do. And I didn't know what that was going into college. And so, I started in accounting because my mom was an accountant. My brother took accounting. I was like, I'm good with numbers, so let's do that. But that was my least favorite class. I was like, okay, not doing that. And so then the only other little bit of experience I had was construction. So that's the path I chose. And so it led me to a good job and a promising career path if I were to stayed on that path. But I just knew, man, it was not for me, and so I had to make a plan to get out of there, because I couldn't just jump ship.
Yeah.
Especially with being paid pretty well from them. It's like, man, that's tough to walk away from,
Definitely.
yeah. So
What led you to that ultimate decision then to, you said it yourself, had this good paying job, good company.
yeah,
What caused you to take that leap?
I just knew that I was going to be, I didn't want to work the rest of my life in order to, save up a bunch of money just so I could retire early and then enjoy my life. Like, I want to enjoy my life now. I want to be able to do what I want to do now, be able to, like I said, and I want to be able to, well, we talked earlier, but I want to be able to bless people, doing a job that I know that is benefiting somebody directly, working in construction. Sure. I was building buildings that people would be able to use, but being a personal trainer, it's completely different. You get to see people come in who are having a rough day, and I get to put a smile on their face, make them feel good as they leave, and I can, I could be able to share that joy with them directly versus just building a building, and so I need that personal connection with people, being able to serve them directly, so.
Yeah. Sounds like you have the servant's heart for sure.
Try to be, try to have one.
Let's talk about it, at a high level in terms of mindset. What were some, paradigm shifts, to use a buzzword, or some mindset shifts that had to occur for you to, be able to make this jump?
Like I mentioned just a second ago, I listened to a ton of Dave Ramsey, and talking about saving up and being able to retire with, millions of dollars and everything. And it's not that that's wrong or impossible for me to do, but I didn't want to just work a job in order to have that later on. It's like, man, do I really want to build buildings for 30 years of my life? Do I really want to be in a hazardous situation? I got hurt a few times on the job. That's not going to be good for me, for my longevity,
Sure.
And if I'm miserable at work and I take that mindset when I get home, it's like, man, not a good recipe for a great relationship, to be a dad, all those sorts of things. So,
yeah.
So I had to shift my mindset from, it's still possible to be able to retire with, being comfortable, but I can still enjoy my life doing it right now, rather than just slaving away 9 to 5. It was really like 6 to 4:30,
Yep.
They say 9 to 5, but that's not in the construction world. And when you're as part of management, like sometimes you got to stay late, you got to get in there early to unlock the gates, all those sorts of things. So
Sure.
I just was wasting my life, wasting my life. So,
yeah. You mentioned an important point, and that is you mentioned Dave Ramsey. So, financially speaking, I think you took a really key step, really critical step that aided in your success in terms of, saving up some cash flow before you jumped out on your own, just to kind of create that buffer and that, that ramp up time. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, like I said, I was being paid pretty well with Jay Dunn. And while I was there, Sarah and I, we both decided we were going to pay off all of our debt, except our house. But we didn't have a house at the time. But we were going to pay off $65,000. Our plan was 2 years, and so I worked overtime. I worked extra. I went out of town and worked, just work in order to be able to pay that off so that we could start saving in order to do this, and so
That's awesome.
7 years with him, it's a long time. I didn't have this dream until, probably 5 years or so into it. But so those past 2 years were tough, but, I had to sacrifice certain things. We saved up money. We took a little bit of our equity out in order to put in the bank, so that way when I did quit, like we weren't going to have $0 in our account, so we made a plan, for me to get out of there and be able to start doing this. And, I think if people just looked at the numbers, they probably were like, I think you're leaving a little bit too early, like you should probably save up a little bit longer, have a few more clients first. But I was like, man, I got to get out of here. And I know that's what the Lord was calling me to do. I mean, there was many mornings where I'd be bawling my eyes out driving to work, like knowing that I need to quit, and knowing that he's got a good plan for me, and just, following him and what he was calling me to do. Like I knew I was going to be okay, and
For sure.
I still believe that, even though I don't have as many clients as I want to, or our bank account's not as full as we want it to be. It's like, I know, doing what he's called me to do, everything is going to work out for my good and his glory. So
For sure.
Just
Yeah.
believe in
And
that.
that's awesome. Amen to that, man.
All right. And, this business might not work out well for me. That doesn't mean that God doesn't have a good plan for me,
Yeah.
so it's not just, I know I'm going to get a ton of clients, or it's like, even if the clients don't come and I got to shut my doors and do something completely different, like he's got a good plan,
Yeah.
so when I get to believe that, like, man, it takes off a lot of anxiety and worry about the future, so.
For sure. Well said. And then I guess a shameless plug for our show. You mentioned two things. One, the sacrifice component. I think so often sacrifice is looked at as a negative thing, but in reality, it's just trading, right? You traded some stress and some extra hours at that time for what you're being able to do now.
Right.
And that's episode, I think, 2 with Brent Vogel. And then episode 24 with a guy named Vineet Prasad. I think the exact title of the episode is something along the lines of laying a financial runway. So,
Okay.
so anyone who is interested in what Jon was talking about in terms of him building up savings to, be able to jump out on his own and start this business, that episode would be a good resource for you all as well. So in terms of kind of these, categorical topics, we talked, about mindset shifts and the financial aspect. What about just overall fear? A lot of people have that apprehensiveness to start their own business simply because of fear. How'd you get around that?
When you have enough faith that it drowns out the fear,
Yeah.
then the fear is not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that there aren't times where, I do worry about that, because I do, but I know that if I keep plugging away, if I keep going that direction that he wants me to go, then he's going to take care of me.
Okay.
And so, it's tough, not especially like when you don't have very many clients starting out. It's like, man, is this going to be enough? And, for the past year and 5 months, it's been a struggle. Like a bank account was here and it's just boop, 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 slowly trickling down. I mean, we're right here at the bottom. Fortunately, we have some great friends and family who have helped us out, knowing that, we, especially going through, the quarantine, like
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't see any of my clients then. And it's like, that really drained our account a lot faster, but had some great friends that just extremely generous and, helped us out financially,
Wow.
and family, and just getting different gifts. My brother-in-law just gave me a really expensive bike, so that way I could include that in my fitness and, help other people, with that. And so it's just like, man, God he's hooking us up, even though it's, not exactly what I had in mind, but it's going good. I feel blessed every day that I get to do this. There's one, I don't have to drive anywhere to go to work except for one day. There's one day where I go, and coach a group of guys at, Lifestyle Publications. But man, those mornings they're great mornings. I get to listen to worship music on my way there and just be thankful, for where he has me now,
For sure. And then it sounds like you're on the I guess the beneficial side of this scenario, but I think a lot of times another scenario people get trapped in before they go out on their own is this idea of judgment, or maybe not so much judgment, but the influences in your life,
Mm-hmm.
a spouse, immediate family, close friends telling you to not do things because it's risky or dangerous, or that your idea or business idea is not going to work.
Sure.
It sounds like that you had a very strong support system.
Most of them, yeah. There have been a few that are like, this isn't smart, da 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 da. Like, what have you thought about this? That, and I'm like, I have thought about those things, but I'm not going to let those things stop me from, pursuing my dream.
Yeah.
So and that's tough, especially coming from family.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't believe in you, it's like, man, like, come on, like.
Yeah.
I know you might not believe in me, but at least pretend.
Right. Yeah, it's a tough scenario for a lot of people, but it sounds like you really are blessed in terms of a support system. So that's great that you have that. And then one thing I want to talk about is kind of this idea of market saturation, or the idea of someone else is already doing my business or idea, or that everyone's doing that. Did you encounter any thoughts like that as far as there's personal trainers out there, and how to set yourself apart from other personal trainers?
Oh yeah. Even, I had this conversation with my clients, earlier this week or yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I said, it's like, this is what I have to work with. If you got to see everything, you'd be like, oh, that's not too bad. But me being able to like compete with personal trainers at, Genesis or like the nicer health clubs, like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to go to the sauna, use my sauna, when we get done, or be able to use my pool. It's like, because I don't have one of those, but
just hit the car in the driveway in August with the windows up, and that'll be a sauna.
yeah, there you go. That's not a bad idea. So, anyway, but I don't have like all those extra amenities, but I think the level of care that I give to my people will surpass those amenities. So, I just give them the best that I can each and every time, and hope that's enough.
For sure.
Yeah.
Some people talk about the idea of burning out on your passion, that you should not follow your passion because you'll one day eventually grow to hate it. What do you say to that, and what's your mindset around that?
I mean, I guess it just depends on the passion. For me, health and fitness is a lifestyle, for me, and I'm always going to be into fitness. I'm always going to, be into my health and care about those things. And so that's what my business is around. It's about getting people physically fit and also working with them on their nutrition to help them, their bodies be able to repair themselves and fix certain issues and, help them with whatever diseases they might have, just trying to get them healthier. And so if I'm always going to be immersed in that sort of lifestyle, I might as well be helping somebody else with that. And I would be, even if I wasn't getting paid for it. I've told multiple people, like, I would do this for absolutely free if I could, and so I feel as that I don't want to do it for free. I do actually want to do it for free. And I haven't been able to figure out how to do the nonprofit side of things, but I do want to be able to serve people who can't afford personal training. Cause it is more, it's expensive, relatively speaking, depends on what you value, but, people who truly can't afford it are sometimes the people who really need it the most. And it's man, if I could find a way to get into those communities, those people, it's like, I could really help change, way more lives than I can just being profitable, so.
For sure, man. Keep dreaming big, for sure. I have no doubt that you'll get there.
Yep.
It sounds like you have a servant's heart, but fitness and nutrition, or maybe your skill set. So maybe that's how you're avoiding burnout, is that you just have the servant mindset. So it's your passion's there.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. There's actually been a few people where it's like, I don't even know if they paid me or not, honestly. It's like, I know that's bad. I know that's bad business practice, but so like, I love coaching people, they come in, there's been days where I've been tired in the afternoon, but it's like, man, I get done coach or get started on coaching, and it's just like a breath of fresh air. So
for sure. Getting close to the end of the show here. I got a couple bookend questions that I always ask every guest that I think are just interesting, that hopefully people get value from. But before we get into those, is there anything else you want to say at a high level about, following your calling, anything like that?
I don't think so. I mean, nothing that we haven't already talked about, just making sure that you can make an exit plan, that you don't just say, well, I want to quit one day and just quit, it's like, you got to make sure that you're going to have food on the table, those things. But yeah, so I would say just, make an exit plan, and hopefully you're doing something that you love to do,
Yep. Great. Thanks for that. Mm-hmm. One of the bookend questions is the idea of around, fostering community. So do you have a current business ask, as in, hey, I'm having trouble running my books or finances like this, or I'm curious about, email marketing or social media, or I just want to connect with a person at this company or this type of industry, anything like that going on in your world?
Yeah. I mean, my website is terrible right now. And it's only because, one, I haven't put in the time to be able to do it myself. It's not a strong skill set of mine, even though I should probably put in the effort towards learning how to do it. But I know, like, there's certain things in business and in your life that you just need to pay somebody else to do, and I haven't been able to justify that expense yet for my account, just because of what I'm working with, I haven't taken out a small business loan. So it's not like I've got extra money just to be able to dish out and pay back later. It's like, I'm trying to do this, with my own money. And so, I need some help with my website, and it's not just, oh, I can get it set up for you and that's it. It's like, I need somebody to, be kind of consistent with it,
For sure.
But that's probably the main thing. My marketing is not very good. Just like I said, haven't had the money to be able to spend on it. So every new client I get is through word of mouth, and I've been fortunate to. There's been times I've been frustrated I haven't had enough clients, but like I said, I automatically think like, no, this is where the people that I have right now, that's what I need to have in order to. That's what God has for me right now, so if I feel like if I had too many clients, I might get overwhelmed or be too stressed out. But like right now as it is, like it's going smooth and slowly bringing on more clients as I get more comfortable and the word gets out there. And so
definitely,
that's about it.
Yeah, if anyone's listening and can help Jon out with that, feel free to contact him. So Jon, on that note, where can people best contact you or get a hold of you?
Yeah, I would just email me at Precision Fitness KC at gmail.com, or you can reach out to me on Facebook as well. You can look up Precision Fitness KC on Facebook. You can text me if you want, 816-394-8918. Feel free to send me a message or call me, or whatever you may need to do.
All right, got the digits. Any books or resources that you'd recommend for aspiring entrepreneurs?
Let's see. I think the one book that really got me like out of the rut that I was in was The Compound Effect. My mom actually recommended this book, and I was in the worst part of my construction career. I was stuck in the office doing work that I hated to do, and that's when my mom gave me this book, and I was like, okay, it talks a lot about jumpstarting your income, your life, and success. But, for me, what I got most out of it was you start making good habits and start making good choices now. Like it's an exponential curve up. But if you're making poor choices and, you're doing things you're not supposed to, it's an exponential curve downward, So The Compound Effect, it was a great book for me and kind of getting me going. So I would highly recommend that book. It's a short book. I think it's a good little read. I haven't read too many books in my life. That was always one of my least favorite subjects in school was literature and reading and all that stuff. But
Compound Effect's a good one. I've read that one as well. So appreciate the recommendation.
Yeah.
Well, Jon, thanks so much for your time and sharing your story with us today. Really appreciate it. And I know the audience will take a lot from it.
Okay. I appreciate you having me, man.
That wraps up today's episode. We hope to have brought you some valuable key takeaways. Most importantly, whatever you learned, take action on it. Apply it to your life. Apply it to your career. Motivation and inspiration only come as a result of taking that first step. So if you're enjoying the podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe on whichever platform you found the show. You can also follow us on all the major social media platforms or contact us directly at genwhyleaders@gmail.com. That's GENWHY leaders@gmail.com. Until next time, I'm Eric Huey, and thanks for listening to the Gen Y Leaders Podcast.